A delegation from South Sudan's Ministry of Health, UN agencies and donor countries are working together to offer support to local communities in preventing the spread of the Ebola virus in the country. During visits to parts of the country, officials analyzed the level of preparedness to prevent a health disaster in a country that has been affected by a devastating conflict over the past 5 years.
A delegation representing donor countries, the United Nations, and officials from South Sudan's Ministry of Health visited Yei, one of the areas hardest hit by conflict in South Sudan. They are here to discuss support and funding for Ebola prevention in the country. The recent spread of the virus to Goma in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo, a city on the border with Rwanda, raises fears that the outbreak, which is already the second deadliest Ebola epidemic ever, could spread more widely across borders. South Sudan is on high alert, and health officials are working with humanitarian partners to implement a prevention and response plan.
It can be a bit frustrating when you're preparing for a long time and the disease doesn't come and you have many other problems. But I really want to tell the community members here that actually if Ebola does come and if it's not controlled, it will actually become your biggest problem, bigger than malaria, bigger than everything else. So it's really important to have that awareness.
The community is being sensitized on Ebola prevention. People are being encouraged to wash their hands with soap and water often and having their temperatures checked for fever, a common Ebola symptom. Communities are also being educated on what action to take when there is a potential Ebola case.
In South Sudan, particularly is very important in the sense that we have a communal way of living that encourages the spread of disease through interaction between members of the family. For example, during the burials, in some communities, the disease may be kept for days, and people dancing around the body and touching and kissing that the corpse. And I think in the case of Ebola, that will be a dangerous thing to do.
A devastating epidemic of the Ebola disease swept through Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea in West Africa from 2014 to 2016 and killed more than 11,300 people. Health officials hope to prevent an Ebola outbreak in South Sudan, where about 400,000 people have been killed and more than a third of the country's 12 million people displaced by a 5-year civil war.
It is now time for a short break. As we do, we'd like to remind you to visit our website, channelcv.com, for news and other programming around the clock. You can also find us at youtube.com/channelsweb. Still to come, an albino musician uses music to fight discrimination against a condition that he and many others live with. That story after the break.